We talked for 20 minutes.
You gotta give Troy a count.
Do we get the final script writing? Like where we get
you got some music like the Academy Awards to shut Eddie up?
The adapted version that we're sending in.
Honestly, I'd never even heard of Boise until I got a phone call from Dave Langevin. He was a Minnesota boy, and I was going to college in Bemidji, and I made a phone call and just asked some people what they knew about Boise, and everything was positive. And at one point, I was heading to Wichita, and because I had a friend that was out there, but everything sounded so nice about Boise. I was like, it just felt right. I was like, talked to Dave Langevin. I was like, yep, I'm coming out. So loaded up my truck, threw everything in the back, and never knew anything about it, and headed west and never left. So.
And how long have you been here and you're still saying Boise?
I'm probably guilty of that too, though.
Boise. No Z in Boise.
We're Canadian, come on.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
I was much the same. I was coming out of a training camp in a different league, and I got a call from Dave Langevin, the coach as well, and I find myself driving down the road going west, and I was in Cleveland at the time, and I'm going to Boise, Idaho. Like, I have no idea where Boise is. Like, I've never heard of it, and
Idaho.
yeah, Idaho, right? But I've loved it ever since. I haven't left the city, and I've been here for 25 years.
And for me, I'll be honest with you, I was playing with Bakersfield. There was the Bakersfield Fog back then. Remember, that's how old I am.
Oh.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, you're old.
I'm super old. And I was miserable there. And I almost got in a fight with a coach at a pregame skate in Bakersfield. And I go, that was my last game. I'm done. I wasn't happy. And it just so happened that night we're playing the Idaho Steelheads, the first time they've ever been to Bakersfield. Could have been playing anybody that game, but it just happened to be Idaho. And after the game, the coach at the time, Keith Gretzky, said, hey, this isn't working. I greatly, I agree. He goes, well, I could trade you. They want to trade. Idaho wants to trade for you, or totally up to you. And I go, like, again, common theme. Where the hell is Boise, Idaho, right? Boise, Idaho. and talked to my dad. He goes, well, try it. You can always go home. So went there, met these yahoos right out of the gates, and they said, no, dude, you don't know. This is the best place you've ever been. And I go, okay, well, this will be a temporary stop. And now, 27 years later, still haven't left, and I never will. Yeah, it was the biggest mistake, serendipitous luck. Could have been playing San Diego, Alaska that night, but that's how we ended up here, and just absolutely love it. It was the biggest blessing ever.
Well, obviously, right across the street from us, and we love hockey. My husband coached soccer for 20 years, 4 state championships. I just wanted to mention that.
Big deal.
That's a big deal. And so I think the similarities they stop between the grass and the ice, but we just love hockey from the minute we became huge fans of the Steelheads. And these guys, we got to know them right away, and this just became their home.
Yeah, and her with the fan club, like, she was like, again, when I first came to town, she welcomed all the new players. She made everybody feel at home. Came here, we had a good time. Like, Rocky was it still is, obviously, a big part of saying, all right, welcome to town. Like, it just made it an amazing experience. Seriously, the 3 years we played here were the best ever, and Rocky was always a big part of that, being part of the booster club.
Did the free booze have something to do with it?
Oh, a lot. Yeah, sure. A lot.
Weird that.
Thank you for picking up on that. But no, seriously, she was a mainstay of being a big part of why we loved it here, for sure.
The whole town just adopted us. It was like a big family.
Yeah.
And all of us that played on those years, most of us are still here.
Yeah.
So it stuck with us.
And when you guys first got to town, a lot of you came with just a gym bag and nothing else. And we figured that out as boosters. They need something more than just,
These poor ass kids.
the stinky hockey clothes.
Right.
And so we just started getting things out of our closets, those of us as boosters. And
Sweater vests.
that was later. We'll talk about that later. But we just got pots and pans and linens and towels and things. And then we realized, well, the guys really need this. So as boosters, we started the linen closet. And then it's just developed into what it is now, an actual recruiting tool for the team. And the guys can come into town and they have everything they need. Back in the day, y'all didn't. It was,
literally, I came with literally not even a suitcase. Just everything was my hockey equipment and everything I had at that point in time in a hockey bag, and I don't have much more of that now. That's kind of still what I got, but no, they made everybody. The start of it, especially, an amazing experience for everybody, and was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Like, people have become hockey knowledgeable back then. Like, it was brand new. Like, sometimes it was their first game every time in live or on TV of watching hockey. So, you know, we got there and, you know, an offside whistle blows and the crowd's cheering, and I'm like, what happened? Well, I didn't realize it was just an offside call, if that was time to cheer or something like that. So, but it was packed. Like, you couldn't get a ticket back then. Like, you could not get a ticket, and everybody was dressed to the nines, and I'm looking up in the state, like, holy shit, like, what is going on? I can't, and what is going on here? And people, it was their night out, and people come to Hannah's right after, right? So it was like a pregame for a Friday or Saturday night. Great buzz, great energy. People were nuts. We had a tough team back then, fair to say, and there was a lot of fights, and people appreciated that we were kind of that. So I think it was pretty entertaining.
When we played in the WCHL, it was an older league. What's going on now is a much younger league. They're 22, 23, 24, maybe 25, that's about it.
Yeah.
When we came here, we were in our elder 20s. So it was a league for us to go and play.
What are you now then, Dumas?
Yeah, you're right, don't ask.
But it was guys that just didn't make it, came down to this, versus now they're making their way up. So older, it was a lot more back then, a ton more fighting, a lot more hitting.
A lot more experience, so the game was different.
Yeah.
But now I think with the way the game's changed and the kids, how young they are now, it could be more exciting now, I guess.
Oh,
maybe.
absolutely. From a speed, like that now.
Speed aspect.
Yeah, everything's evolved.
Well, the athleticism.
The Steelheads nowadays, these guys are amazing.
What?
Easy there, yeah. But it was old, like, we knew like what we had, like, we've been around long enough, and this was like, we're living here now, and but still, as much as the fun with the fans, the bar, with just going on the road trips, and just.
So that's one of the.
We have a million stories we forgot, and just from the locker room, and good friends forever. Just when you go to battle, literally, we're places where we're going to get our ass kicked. We're shorthanded, and we're playing one of the toughest teams in the league. We're 6 legit goons on it. You bond pretty quickly with the guys. You have to watch each other's back. So, anyways, it was. I don't know. I think that's part of the reason we're still such tight, trusting friends. The word is out in the hockey community. With players, it's actually pretty small, right? And we talk, and everybody's got thousands of friends around different leagues,
right?
And they've heard of Boise now, like for now decades. And like, you're pretty lucky if you get a stint there. And a lot of guys design their careers where I'm going to finish off maybe in Boise, or they used to do it, and probably still to this day. Because if you're, again, that sounds like BoiseTourism.com here, but I mean, the quality of life, raising a family, the opportunities that are here.
Chicks.
Mostly that, no. It's just for the same reason. It's the pricing of the houses where it's at. People are coming here in droves. It is the same thing. Plus, the hockey community here has grown and become super established, and it is a special thing. And people outside Idaho don't know any different because it's Boise, and this is what you're used to. It's not like this almost anywhere else.
Even in the first few years when we played in the WCHL, we were already rated as one of the most popular places to play for visiting teams to come in. Because we all have friends on other teams, and they would talk about it. They were just treated really well. The fans were loud and obnoxious and lots of fun, which is always fun for a visiting team to go into. Like, they're full, and then you get good meals after the game. You're staying at the Grove Hotel. They were treated like athletes as well. Like, even though they're the opposition, they still were treated well. And then it just grew from there. And as Scotty was saying, the city is now a known factor throughout the whole U.S. because people are coming here in droves for reasons. And we can't be more happier to be a part of it.
It's the whole group as a whole, right? You got the Steelheads organization themselves is just a class act, right? They know how to treat the players, the community. You know what I mean? So you come in here, you're treated professionally. You know what I mean? It's just such a good group there. And then you come out and, as these guys say, the community itself embraced us. You know what I mean? And we embraced the community, right? Like we could go certain places. The Steelhead name carried something, right? And then like Scott was mentioning earlier, like Jack Cardifax would come to us and say, hey, would you go and visit with this school, or would you go to this event or this fundraiser? And everybody was very gracious on that end too. So it was kind of a two-way street. So we in a sense, we embraced each other, and it's just such a good community that, like I said, then we found people here, raised families, didn't want to leave all the way around. And to this day, we still have good people that we know in this community that we've known for 25 years, and so we appreciate it, feel very fortunate to be here.
I think you can tell the strength of an organization by the people that stick around, because you've got Eric Trapp,
That's a good point.
you got Ben Collier, you got the Beast. I mean, you've got these people who've been there all these years, these decades, and that you can tell the strength and the heart of the community by who sticks around, and
Strong drinks at Hannah's.
Right? You gotta love when Jack says, go to Humpin' Hannah's and party with Rocky. Okay.
I dare you to try and leave the next day with that hangover, right?
And then, the refs have their own table here.
Yeah,
So we got #1 in the ECHL league jersey from the commissioner, because we provide a special table for the refs.
There's those intangibles, and then for whatever reason, we've mentioned a few of them, every team loves to come to Boise to play as a visitor.
Well, I got lucky being just thrown into that on a whim, and that is one of the luckiest things that ever happened in life. I'm super proud of it. I think it is a very respected organization, and say I'm one of the OGs, so to speak, of that organization, and my best friend. Everything good in my life came because of that, and being part of this organization. It directly or indirectly, my career kind of evolved from it. All snowballed. Daughters, everything snowballed from it. And so, there's a huge sense of pride. I actually don't tell as many people, because I'll get gloaty and braggy. I'm so proud of it, and I know, all right, maybe people don't want to hear that, but it is, it's a very cool thing to say that we're part of the first year team, especially. And people remember us not because probably great playing, but in my case it is, but that we embrace the community, and it's still echoing today. People remember, I remember, we see the same fans, we still hug them, and that's pretty cool. We're really lucky.
And I've played in a lot of organizations, and I came here for the most part to come here and die in my hockey career, and then now I've got whole nother life. I've been here for 25 years, so there's a reason why I stayed as well. And this is the most memorable spot that I've played in throughout my whole career.
There's just a lot of pride with coming here and having that name, and that we did play with the Steelheads. And even when you travel out now, that people have heard, and the Steelheads, and if for some reason it does come up, people look at you a little different, and they're like, oh, so, and that's that goes back to what they've built here and everything else. So just a lot of pride on that.